here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Everybody's coming in. Oh, we're going to admit everyone. Everybody's coming in. Everybody's coming in. Hi, everyone. Oh, dear. There goes everything. Okay, let's make sure. Let me see. Oh, okay. Let me just double check my audio. Got my audio, got my video. Let's make sure this one happens. Okay, my angels. Welcome to this. The Edible Spirit full moon Zoom. Let's make sure we take care of everything. Okay, so you guys know we're getting into the groove of this. We're getting better every breath, every day, every time. Just trying to make sure that we. Okay. Okay, let's just see how we go with this, how this all goes. Hello, everyone. So yes, this is the Edible Spirit full moon Zoom for the full moon in Aquarius, which is in exactitude upon Monday, August 3rd at 11:58 p.m. On the Eastern Seaboard, in the Eastern time zone. So technically tonight is the best. Tonight, tomorrow, full moon is in exactitude for about 2-3 days on either side of this moment. So 2 days before, 2 days after will work just great for this. Very exciting news. What we did last time was we actually read through all of these horoscopes that we had written for you. But today even though we're in the middle of the mountains with terrible Wi-Fi, we're in the process of uploading 12 horoscopes, video horoscopes on IGTV. So if you don't follow on Instagram, at EdibleSpirit on Instagram, and I've only been able to get 3 of them up. We're as far as Gemini. We're in the process of Gemini because, it's like the squirrels are running the upload. So probably by later today, definitely by tomorrow morning, all of that will be up. Little bit of a rundown of what this space is about. This is a space to center healing and to feature healing and to make healing accessible and delicious. For those of you who have worked with us before, I'm Michael Dimitrovich. I work with a collective of beings that have identified themselves as Edible Spirit, whose primary interest is to bring you what you need in service of your healing. And for many, many years, we've been trying to figure out the best way to do this for people. Now we've landed on this format, the Moon Zoom. And the way this show runs is we start with what we're going to call the Fuck Me Update. I'm going to tell you about that in just a second. It's our little astrological check-in moment. I may share 1 or 2 of these little horoscopes with you that we have written for you, even though they'll all be on video later. And then we have a very special guest, Paulina Singer, who's coming on to sit for an AURAPICS reading. So she'll be coming in a little bit, and then she's going to hang out, and we're going to take Zoomers, callers, questions from you guys. The way we did it last week, let's see, can we run it with the last time we did it, was through the chat, I'm pretty sure. And there's like other ways to raise your hand, which she's not keen on yet, but we'll get there. So if you let us know that you have a question and that you do want to ask something or that you do want a reading, we'll get to you then, and then we'll wrap it up at the end of the day. So we've shifted things around a little bit more to be able to bring you more of what was yummy last time we did this. So the way the Fuck Me Update works is just to talk about a couple things that are fucking me up for better or for worse. The way we're clocking it this week is 2 main things, which just feels very important to acknowledge, right? people have been getting picked up and thrown in vans by secret police, right? That is, yes, that I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing because Paulina said this is a very advanced name, the fuck me update. I'm not laughing at people being thrown in vans. It's fucking me up because, you know, I won't make too many declarative statements about it, but it lets us know where we're at in this moment and what's going on and what's happening here. And so many of the horoscopes this week, with the new moon in Leo, I'm sorry, full moon in Leo, full moon in Aquarius. So the sun is in Leo. So the sun is pumping our titties full of fire and light and play and joy and innocence and the leonine urge to like express yourself and put yourself out there and do that. Now, there are many things, all sorts of restrictive and oppressive structures that are preventing us from doing that, from shining that light. And yet here it is, right? It's still happening. We're still shining. So much of the horoscopes in this cycle, in this 2-week cycle, have been about that very innocent, playful, leonine need to self-express, to express yourself. So in the horoscopes, you'll see there's all these little bits and pieces about what are we going to do with this light and with this joy and this little remembrance that if something feels really sincerely, unashamedly good to you, it's probably going to feel that good to someone else, right? With consent, of course. But remembering that the full moon is about the sun in Leo, right? Because we had the new moon in, sun is in Leo, and then across the way is the moon in Aquarius. So Leo is that very primal, primary, joyful outpouring of light and love and heart-based energy, because Leo rules the heart. And Aquarius is much more kind of digital, technological, electric, revolutionary. It's not just about society, which is represented by Capricorn, sort of the structures that support society. Aquarius has to do with social order, right? And groups and collectives. And that axis of Leo versus Aquarius is, you know, that secret truth that you feel like you could never share out loud. We're talking like good, joyful truths here. Like, I really want to help people. I really want to be of service. I don't want to atrophy. And I kind of feel like rolling in the hay today and playing today, right? Like, why? That's Leo. Why? For society, for each other, for the collective. So that's the full moon across the way from Leo, from that heart-based center of Leo, is a building up of energy that's making us, in all of our playfulness, aware of the implications of the collective within which we find ourselves, right? The social order. So this leads me to my other fuck me update. I was in New York City for a minute. So many masks below the nose. I know this is happening all over the place, but it's so stupid. It's like, whoa, I can't. Like, I don't get that. It's like 50-50. I do get it because I was hot and I thought I was going to pass out. No, I didn't though. So the idea here is that that's a great example of the Leo Aquarius axis. Sure, we want to and like get our titties out and go to the beach and do all sorts of stuff. But like Aquarius is like, you're going to be breathing on each other when you do whatever it is that you're going to be doing, you know. So individual, collective kind of opposition. And that leads us back to the people getting thrown into vans, which is like, it's happening. So what are we going to do in the meantime? And how are we going to keep shining our light? How are we going to keep increasing the integrity of the social order? How are we going to keep fighting for, like one group fighting for another group's social justice is very Aquarian, right? One human race, everybody sort of blissfully and, you know, Aquarianally together. So, so that's, you know, that's kind of the shitty part of the fuck me update. But the thing to remember here is that, you know, it's happening anyway. And in so many sessions that we've done over the years, this little bit of wisdom comes out, which is like, evolution's going to happen anyway. That's the planet Pluto moving through the zodiac, right? Pluto is like that driving force of evolution that has to break some eggs to make some omelet. So again, my heart's broken. I'm crying all the time, grieving all the time, stressed as fuck. But I think it's very important in this moment to acknowledge that people are getting thrown into vans. Fuck me update. People are putting their noses outside of their masks. I want you to pay attention to that connection between the individual and society, right? The individual and the collective. It's like the collective saw these people getting put into vans. So that's why we know that this happened. Otherwise, their little Leo hearts would have been thrown in a cage. So many other people who have been there. And yet, evolution continues. Each one of you are here today because, you know, hopefully you are coming because there's something on offer for you. And this entire day has been created to offer healing and to share healing and to collectivize our healing. And it's really fun here. Remember, even if you don't get a reading, usually someone asks something that pertains to you, even if you end up not getting a reading. And then Paulina's coming in a minute to do the AURAPICS with us. We're going to do a live demo of AURAPICS so that you can see what it's like to get basically a private AURAPICS session with Edible Spirit, but mainly so that she, an individual, can open her heart, open her spirit, open her aura, and share some stuff with you guys so that you can witness her experiencing herself and witness us sharing in this healing process. And then we'll call you in. This is like a very collective experience that we're all here together to synchronize and harmonize and, you know, open some stuff up. So what I wanted to do was read you at least the Leo horoscope. Oh no, let's do the Aquarius horoscope because it's the full moon one. Okay. I wonder if we have any Aquarians on this call. Do we have any Leos? Maybe that will decide. Leos versus Aquarians. Leos versus Aquarians.
Most of my chart is in Leo, but myself.
Hey, okay. Double Leos. Okay, so we're gonna read you a Leo then. That was the first instinct anyway. Okay. Leo. At best, this moment is inflaming your inner activist and motivating them to burn down structures of oppression. At worst, you are resisting or denying the idea that your actions affect others. Watch out for myopia and self-centeredness. If you're grappling with how to actualize everything you've learned about the bigger picture recently, about how to make your ideals manifest, then great, go ahead and take what you need. But don't lose sight of the mission. This is not about you. This is about us, but we need you, your glory, your passion, your fire to illuminate and inspire. Be prepared for some weird obstacles in your career path, but use the snafus to course correct and make sure you are serving the needs of the greater good at least as much as you are pursuing your own glory. Pay attention to your dreams for answers coming up from the deep. And then this is the best part about the Edible Spirits Code. If you were a snack, dear Leo, you'd be a savory peanut butter and jelly on thick cut toasted rugbrot with crunchy peanut butter, curried mango chutney, fresh jalapenos, and crumbled potato chips. One of a motherfucking kind. Dense, nourishing, and also able to be taken on a march or to a protest. Okay, so there you go. There's that. We got some LOLs. Oh, good. Isabel got the Aquarius. Okay, Isabel, you go check out the Aquarius when it's posted, probably in a few hours. But let me make sure I have my setup ready for Paulina to come in. So you get ready, Angel. Let's see. Okay, here we got this. Let me get this one going. I'm on a pedestal that makes it a little wobbly today. Sorry about that, everyone. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna bring in Paulina in just a moment. Did we get it here? Okay, here's this angel. And we're just gonna make sure we do one more thing. Yeah, so like I said, you all, we're intending to do this for a while. So please bear with us in these first couple Zooms like this. We're working out the kinks and getting a delicious workflow to happen as quickly as possible. So hold on, let me just save this. Save image. Greatness. Greatness. Okay. So let's call in the dear one. Got you, babe. Oh, here comes D. Hey, you.
Hello.
Hi
Thanks for having me.
there. Say again.
I said thanks for having me. Can you hear me? Is it?
I can hear you kind of. You're a little far away.
Oh God. I don't know.
No, you're good. I got you now. Just sitting forward a little bit was perfect.
Okay.
Okay, my angel. So thank you so much for agreeing to do this. We are going to pull up your thing on the screen. So last time we chatted a little bit with our guest before we did the aura pick, but because I have you here today, I actually want to do the aura pick first and sort of let everybody be introduced to you through your spirit and through your energetic body. And so you know, Paulina, and so everybody else knows, the AURAPICS project was designed to sort of isolate the human energy body. I don't actually see the aura immediately, but I have a strong feeling sensation for it. So I started using this little bit of just very simple photo editing software to basically draw in the colors and shapes and this and that I'm seeing. And then we end up sort of isolating the aura in this capacity and getting like a good read about like, if it's a thing, why is it telling us these things? So dear Paulina, please interject, interrupt, ask questions, whatever you got going on, but I'm just going to dive in. Does that sound good? I'm guessing. Let's just see, is she gone? Hold on, going to my grid. Okay, yeah, I think she's gone. Did you disappear, Paulina? Okay, let's see, participants. Hi, dear. Oh, here, she's probably, oh, you guys, okay. Got it now. I think she got kicked out somehow. Yeah, she's texting me. Okay, any questions from any of you guys while we're here? Oh, cute. Okay, her computer unplugged because she pulled it close to her. That's pretty adorable. I'm gonna read you guys the Aquarius horoscope now too, okay? Just because we got that going on. And we'll wait for Mademoiselle to come back. Okay, here she comes. Actually, never mind. Skipping the Aquarian. The Aquarian, we're gonna get the dear one. She's connected. She's unmuted. You with me, love?
Yes. Oh my God.
Yay.
Sorry,
Okay, good.
I pulled my computer close to me and I unplugged it.
Don't worry. It's totally fine. Because where everybody can still see her, we're sharing you with the screen, with the world, okay?
Yes, I can see it.
So let's, so the first thing that I'm actually drawn to with you is the left side of your hip. And this indicates there's this wonderful, let's see, yeah, this one works. It's this sweet energy that's coming out of the hip. And it's not exactly stable, but it feels pretty strong. And this center is about moving forward, but also what you need to move forward. So it's sort of like doing an inventory in your life of what do you have to accept and receive in order to advance forward in your goals. So it's that idea of like, you got to accept help to get ahead. You know, I'm not saying that's always true, but that's what this portion of the of your hip, love that, of the hip actually represents here. And the hands, it says that there's this sort of inquiry into who is helping me up, who is giving me what I need, who is not giving me what I need, the relationships that are happening in my life, and then also like, what do I need to, if it were on your shoulder, oh, it does kind of go through your shoulder, so it's fair to say, what do I need to accept or take in order to move forward? That would really be the question that's being asked here. And interesting. Question, have you been like doing any sort of ancestral practice or thing where you're connecting with people who've passed on from you, or honoring or thinking about your family in some different type of way?
Well, I do ancestral work all the time, but I'm looking for my dad right now.
Okay, well, I would just say, based on this, it's like the spirits want to come in and say, you are so thoroughly saturated by ancestral love. And thank you for sharing that about your dad. And I would just say to you, it's like, with this much pink in your field, it means that there are spirits. Oh, and I'm getting the bumps all over, truth bumps all over. There's spirits on the other side that want to help you find your dad. And even more importantly, yeah, she's making some good. I don't know if you guys can see her right now. But that's good. Make some noises. Good.
Yeah.
Good. So the idea is that the spirits come in like this to, it's either your ancestors or your spirit guides. That's what happens when pink like this shows up in the AURAPICS. And this is like a blanket. It's like a spiral blanket you're being swaddled in with this energy. So that would just say to me, I would say to you right off the bat, you have a lot of spirits around you. You have a lot of guidance around you. It's super important for you to have, I know you're a Virgo, right? You're a Virgo, right? Yeah, okay. It's super important for you to have a stable, grounded, ritualized way of letting go in order to let those messages from the ancestors come in. And so having your daily practice and having it be regular is going to make it easier to connect with them, because the question with something like this is, great, thanks, Edible Spirit, got all the spirits around me, but how do I talk to them? How do I hear them? What do I do about this? You know, how do I know it's them? And what I mean, you got to use your heart, you got to use your gut, you got to use your feeling. But if you don't feel like you're being swaddled in pink love, you know, probably don't want to be fucking with that energy. And yeah, so then that's just what I would say to anybody with this pink. But because you shared the thing about your dad, very, very groovy. And I would say specifically in practice, in your ancestral connection practice, open up and say, you know, is there any guidance you can offer me to help me on this mission, or help me on this search, help me on this journey? Oh, I mean, I get it all the way on my back. I get big wings on my back, which is just like, I feel like there's someone who freaky deaky wants you to find him.
Yeah,
so you want to try to connect with that, huh? Does that resonate?
Maybe, well, no, I don't. I'm just saying maybe my grandma, because I've just been really wanting to meet my grandma, but she could be dead.
I mean, I was thinking grandma. I don't go chasing mediumship. I'm just trying to focus on the AURAPIC here. But what I would say to you is, based on what my pussy was saying, she could be dead, because it does feel like a grandmother energy that really it doesn't, it also doesn't feel like she just wants you to find him and like have a reunion. It feels like she wants to end something, like put an end to this shit, you know, like put an end to this. Yeah, to you. Well, I would assume to you, not, you know, not seeing him, not knowing him. Okay. Okay, I love this. So interesting. It's a really intense. Oh, this is Leo season. This is what Leo season looks like, everyone. Woo. Okay, wait. No, even better. We gotta go better. Yeah, that's better.
Yes, like a crown. Ooh.
It's too
Ooh.
thick. This one wants to be a little less. Okay. Yeah. So this is what's fun about, I work mostly as a channel, Paulina. So we did one little reading together once over Thanksgiving, but what's cool is I'm just taking dictation, drawing what I'm being told to draw. And okay, good to know. This is good to know. So orange is the color of, I've never said it like this, but like orange is very Leo season color. It's playful, it's fun, it's associated with the second chakra, it's innocent, it's a little spastic sometimes, it's, you know, it wants what it wants and it doesn't care about anything else. And that's why that Leo horoscope was like, all right, you do you, but also you're not an island. You're on an earth with a lot of freaking other people. So what are you gonna do about that? So what this actually says is, this is your upper centers. This is your throat, your third eye, your crown, and, you know, your big sort of I don't know, I would just say like spiritual satellite dish that would connect you to the great beyond and to source and to any sort of insight or guidance that you might be seeking about what the fuck is going on in the world, in my life, like what is happening. It's like that would come from these sort of upper centers. Now, what I will say to you here is you have both, it's almost like and the yellow energy is about learning through collision, learning through trial and error, learning through practice in the world, as opposed to like a deep blue, which would be more about learning through theory, learning through analysis, learning through study, learning through all those sorts of non-practical things. This says that you are fighting for your joy. It says that you are fucking shit up a little bit, like trying to test your limits, see what's going on. You know, how, in a way, I would just say to you behind this, how much can I get away with right now? How much can I get away with? Okay.
Right now.
Right. And what's interesting about it, what is that?
That's the question I'm always asking.
Okay, good. I love that. So the thing about it is that I put these little dotlets of red in there, which just says, don't give in wholeheartedly to just fucking shit up and just being a Leo and just roaring about it. You know, resist the urge to be, I never say this, but like resist the urge to feel totally carefree, right? You wanna hang on to a quest for clarity and this idea that, you know, the orange and the yellow, the orange is about what feels good, what's fun, what's joyful, what do I want to do? And then the yellow is, okay, and what am I going to do about that? How am I going to make that happen? How am I going to get that? You know, collision, who do I have to talk to? What do I have to do? And then the red just sort of says that back and forth of following your impulses willy-nilly could get dangerous. That's what the red is. It's like very high stakes. So that's why I say now is not really the time to be pushing the envelope over the edge of a cliff, right? And the reason why it says for you is because you want to actually figure out what is a deal breaker. What do you need to be able to do? Whether it's, you know, I don't know, just because I had an amazingly social distanced visit with someone when I was in New York, where it was just a great example of like, I needed to see this person, I needed to hug this person, and it was complicated and we had to figure it all out. You know, so the idea is that Leo would normally be like, I don't care, I'm gonna do it. And the idea with you is to follow that impulse, right? But so that you can really see what you really wanna do versus what's just an impulse. What is worth fighting for? What is worth having an uncomfortable, long conversation about? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. And then the last thing that comes up for you is this beautiful, and this is very strong, Paulina. This is very strong. Remember I told you there's that blue thing. Yeah, to me, I like that. I'm going to make it a little bit lighter for you. So the idea here is that this is the energy of teachers. This is the energy of a craftsperson. This is the, I know that you are a performer, creator. You know, I always think of you as a creator, but this feels like digging into your craft or picking up a new tool or using some kind of instrument in a way to honor your teachers. Make something, do something. In some ways, I would say to you, make everything, do everything. In order to honor the wisdom lineages that you come from. And then we sort of circle right back to the familial stuff, right? Which is, I would just say, think about honoring people with what you create. Because like I said, it's in one of the horoscopes, it says, you know, there's no such thing as business as usual anymore. So if everything you do has like a 10-pound rucksack, you know, dragging you down, what are you going to do? You know, and how are you going to do it? So in this case, it really just sort of is about you know, honoring the joyfulness and the excitement of things in your heart, but then kind of cross-checking them against, what am I creating? What is this making? What is this putting into the world? And how much fun is too much fun? You know, the second chakra gives us information so that we can then act responsibly on that information, so that we can then I really want to do this. Great example, like going on a road trip right now. It's like, fine, you know, if you can, if you're safe, if you have time and can be protected, and, you know, maybe go on a little road trip. It's a great thing. But I mean, like, it gives me cold sweats, but just the idea of, we have all these little resistances that are happening, but in your head, they don't look like they're happening very much, you know? So you want to really ask that bigger question of, what am I thinking about? What am I envisioning? Going to the crown. What am I thinking about? What am I envisioning? What am I singing into the world? What am I creating into the world? It feels to me like you might have to get invested in your hands and in playing with some tools in order to figure out what you really want to pour your energy into, so you're not just burning the candle at both ends 24/7. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I also recently I was like, you know about human design?
I've heard of it. Yeah, very little bit.
Looking at my chart, and I was looking at this like part of it that says that my mode of operations is less to master one thing and to be a master of experiencing many things.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wonder how that relates to me not, like, you know, putting my energy at a bunch of things. I think, I guess in my mind it would be just to like prioritize and like make it you know, like lay it out instead of having energy be just going everywhere.
It's exactly right. Leo says, I want to do all the things because all of them are fun, because everything's fun. So I want to do all of them. So again, that's the impulse that all of us are kind of feeling in a really weird moment, to be like, I just want to let my hair down and do what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know, so the idea would be, by no means do you have to streamline down to one thing. It's more so about elevating the things that sort of seem like a good idea or seem like they could be cute to something that you want to work on for a long time, while also working on these other things. And I have rising, you know, so there's something in our bones that makes us seek that structure or enjoy, you know, flowing routines of things, you know. So so that's what I would say is don't worry about it. Don't cut down to only one thing. You don't have to become, you know, a PhD. It's more so about letting this moment, instead of, like I said, instead of it encouraging kind of rebellion in you, right? Or like I said, pushing the envelope off the cliff, push the envelope to see what your bones and your heart and you really need to feel at this time, you know, and how you really want to feel. But then ask the bigger questions of, how am I going to keep this going forward? You know what? I might as well just do it because we're right here. Hold on. Let me give you this really quick. The Virgo scope says, do you feel super sensitive to everyone's struggles? This is hard to avoid these days, but it feels like you are especially plugged into the world's pain body. If overwhelmed, it helps to remember that we are often exposed to difficult things and to pain in order to figure out how to use our natural skills and gifts to heal that pain. This is not always about eradicating it. Sometimes it's enough to treat the symptoms of suffering. But the most important thing is for you to make medicine. And you can do this most likely with a sincere offering of your body and or time. This is about what you do every day. What is the pain you are sensing? What gifts do you most desire to use right now? And how can you create a daily practice that allows you to use these gifts to make medicine in service of others? Does that resonate?
Yeah.
Okay. If you were a snack, my love, you'd be a macrobiotic bowl of beans, tempeh, cucumbers, daikon, brown rice, millet, and all sorts of delicious fermented things, giving you extra magic, potency, life, and medicinal oomph.
Okay, but I might taste like grass, but I'm really good for you.
Exactly. And you'll be like salty and tangy and depth. There's a lot of depth of flavor.
Earthy,
nourishing.
Okay.
So good.
Okay.
Is that rain? I don't know if there's rain happening, you guys, ASMR, or if it's frying things coming from the kitchen. Either
Different
way.
Zoom call.
That's it. Okay, well, so that's an AURAPICS sitting, everybody. That's what it's like. That's what it looks like. If you want to get one, we just started doing these as one-on-ones in private formats in 30 and 60-minute sessions. But mostly we're doing this to fund our other habit of late, which is offering reparations readings to people. So if you guys don't know about this, I'll just give you the little blurb of it. We're doing free readings for Black people, Indigenous people, people of color. So if anybody needs some healing, they're 30-minute sessions. Spread the word, share. All of these offerings are kind of being created so that we can sustain the workflow that we've been putting out and write horoscopes about snacks. Okay.
Thank you. That was really awesome.
Yes.
I wrote down a lot of stuff. I'm like, yeah, that was helpful.
Well, I will be sending you your AURAPIC tomorrow. That's what's super fun about it. And when we do these, you know, when I do them with other people, we record the whole thing. So you end up getting a digital AURAPIC and like a reading that goes along with it.
Cool.
So, okay. So, I am gonna ask Paulina. I think she's keen to stick around. So I'm gonna actually turn now. Let me stop sharing this little bastard. And if anybody wants a reading, let's see. Can I overtake out during these Zooms? That's what someone said. Loving the snacks. Okay. Anybody who wants a reading? Okay, let's see. Where's Elliot? Okay, great. Hey. Okay, we're gonna get them on. There you are. Hello there.
Hey.
How you doing?
So far, so good.
Okay, good. Is there anything you want to ask about today? Anything you want to look into, or anything you want to get out of a session like this?
You'd mentioned earlier that like it's like a season of like healing and being able to like move on. I guess my biggest thing is I'm kind of at a crossroads with like 4 or 5 different things in my life right now. So I guess my biggest question is like just kind of a general guidance of like, how do I know that I'm doing the right thing? How do I know I'm making the right decisions, kind of thing? Like just like general guidance, I guess.
Totally. You got it. So what I'm sensing from you is something having to do, as you describe these 4 or 5 things. I'm seeing all these little, they're not concentric circles, but they're like, rings, almost like the Olympic rings, but they're kind of moving around multidimensionally. And there's this, this idea, or what I'm hearing is consider cycles. Consider cycles of time, cycles of energy, as opposed to what I think happens with you a lot is extremes of energy that move either as a pendulum or as like a rocket ship where the energy builds up, builds up, builds up, builds up, builds up, and then pow. Does that resonate?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the idea here is like, if you've ever been to or heard a singing bowl meditation, that's what I was seeing. Right? So like you there's a flow to it. And I think what they're communicating, let me just see. These are guides that are with you. Okay. These are guides that are with you that are showing themselves to us tonight as though you're Dorothy and have kind of gathered them, gathered these spirits along the way. So it just using that analogy of the Wizard of Oz, it feels like they've come to you because you keep pursuing a quest, and I look at our soul's journey in this life as a quest, but your guides are really being like, this is like a multi-stage. Oh, they're going, okay, the narrative arc is more Lord of the Rings trilogy than it is Wizard of Oz. But the friends and the spirits are like Wizard of Oz spirit guides that are with you. And the idea here is that, and we've talked about this with a lot of other people about how the systems that are crumbling in the world right now thrived because they made us do horrible things to our bodies. They made us expect horrible things from our bodies and minds and spirits, just too much all the time, constant growth, never ending. And then like fucking 2007, we're supposed to document it all too. Like, it's terrible. Okay, so your spirits that are with you are actively working to harmonize with you. And this actually connects to Paulina's reading. That it's like, what do we do when the guides are around us? Well, we connect with them. And like, especially if you know, you're quarantining all the time, like just that feeling of I'm not alone. I'm really not alone. These energies are with me and these energies want the best for me. And then the idea would be to open yourself up to a really new way of doing things and to try to notice when your body gets into pendulum, one extreme, the other extreme, one extreme, the other extreme, one extreme, the other extreme, or stagnation, build up, build up, build up, build up. And that's how I would say, you know, how do I know what to do? As sentient beings, we are allowed to curate our experience to the best of our abilities. So it's a very simple thing, but it's a very rigorous practice to pay attention to how your body feels when you ask it to do something and go, am I asking this? Or is this a consequence of all these fucked up systems that I've lived in for my whole life? And all you can really do is course correct. This is the practice that I've been doing. How can I course correct and not do the thing that makes me feel like I want to die or like cut my skin off and like crawl out of my body? You know, and one of the things that's happening with Leo season is that's what Leo tells us. Leo season says there's something in you that's true. Your inner child speaking up. It doesn't give a good goddamn. There's something worth listening to in your heart right now. And I always try to explain that to people too, of like, it lifts you up, it lights you up, it inspires you, as opposed to what I thought for 20, 30 years of my life. Like, if it makes me feel like it's over and like I gotta grind my teeth, like that's the work I need to be doing. You know, like, it's not. That's what got us into this mess. Okay, so again, returning back to it, your spirits are working with these singing bowls, these tones where they want to harmonize you into a more resonant space. So if that's something you want, day by day, remember that you're not alone in that goal and open up to random bursts of inspiration that tell you when you're doing something the old way or when maybe you can do something the new way. Does that all make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Good. Thank you, Angel.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're the best.
Love
Okay,
you.
cool.
Can I just ask you a question really quick?
Yeah, sure.
What did you say the green thing was on my hand?
Oh, good to know. So the green thing was about this question of whose help do I need?
Okay.
How am I going to accept it? What do I have to let in order to move forward? It's like Leo's sort of like, I'm a free agent. I can do it. You know, and it's like, hey, Aquarius is like, yeah, except you exist in a society. So in your aura, Paulina, you had that green coming out of your leg, your hip, because it wants to move you forward. But like I said, I don't know that you're actively pursuing forwardness that aggressively because, you know, there's a lot of other stuff going on, you know? So the idea would be, if you want to make progress, how to make that progress is to honor this thing in here, but also you're reckoning with whose help do I need? Who do I let in? And based on what I'm trying to create with my right hand that was all surrounded in blue, right? Oh, were you asking about that? No, okay. So based on what I'm trying to create with my right hand, which is all in blue, what do I have to allow in a more balanced way? You know, theory would be that you've probably let people into your heart a lot who don't actually have your mission as their top priority. And this would really just say, like, probably don't want to fuck with those people right now. Why would you want to like go through the pain in the ass of having a rigorously social distance exchange with someone that you don't really want to hang out with or who doesn't actually care about your mission in life? Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna come to who's here. Okay, go to Sue. Okay. Come on in.
Hello, how are
Hi
you?
there.
Hi. I think my question might be weird. Like my body just feels like lead all the time. Like, ugh. What's up with that?
So the way that I'm seeing this in you is that, I'm seeing it all actually around your knees, ankles, feet. So what this feels like to me is a couple things. Primarily, it feels like you're picking up free radicals, a lot of free radicals. A lot of us are doing this. If you have any kind of empathic tendencies, you're getting schmecked with so much fear and anxiety and worry and chaos and all this stuff all the time. And this very simple like question of how are you today is like, oh God, I didn't know I was getting into this by asking you this. Like, okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
going to keep going.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Sorry.
the idea is that the shins are about what we present to the world and sort of the front that we put on kind of to protect ourselves, but also to just sort of clad ourselves. It's kind of like the armor center in this edible spirit practice. And then the knees have to do with things that are changing and a sense of self that's changing, ego structures changing. I'm thinking of myself differently. And then the feet are all about grounding, right? So I think what's happening, my read for you is that you've been doing the work now during this insane Corona time. It's caused you to change a bunch of things about yourself, some of which were not necessarily easy, but I feel like you're in a really lovely, I get bumps now, this is a confirmation, in a really lovely state of potential, kind of really ready to move forward. But I would literally say, look down to the knees and the shins and the ankles and the feet. That's where the dead weight is. That's where the dead weight is. And again, I think this is about the quality of interaction that you're having with people. I think you're absorbing a lot of stuff from people. And then the big Mama Jamma read is, I don't think everybody is as into you changing as much as you are or I might be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's what I would, yeah, okay. That's what I would say is that whatever interactions are happening with people, whatever you absorb from them, if you absorb anything, or if you allow some of their projection to cause some kind of doubt, it's like people like, how could anybody be idealistic right now? Well, how could anybody not? Like, what's the better fucking option? You know, so when you are opening up to people, if you're doing the work to try to stay light and stay bright, so much of what was in the horoscopes, and they don't like that, whatever they're projecting onto you is going to be healing from them. It's going to lighten their load because you're really trying to do the work. But at the same time, it's going to anchor you in place and try to get you to not move forward as this new lighter being. And my shins are now shivering and covered in bumps. Okay. So what you do is simple practice, grounding practice. Anybody can do this practice at any time. It involves connecting a tree root of white light from the base of your spine and from your feet chakras all the way to the center of the earth. You imagine a protective shape around yourself if you like, or you just call up everything you don't need and send it down that root chakra cord and out through the feet cords. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And this, you guys, is part of the processing that's happening during this bizarre time. All these social interactions, or whatever few social interactions we have with people, or turning something on, or just being stimulated by whatever's going on, it causes all of this processing to happen, all of this stuff to get released. And it's got to go somewhere. It's got to be cleared somehow. So I think noticing it in the moment for you, Sue, is going to be enough to get it to kind of call up, and basically you're using your consciousness to, reprogram so that you're going, oh, cool, that's what this is. Not going to do this anymore. I'm keeping my light load, my load light. I'm going to move forward. Oh, you don't like this. One of my best friends said to me once, you're doing well when the people closest to you start coming for you. Right? So what's cool about it is don't be tempted. Don't hold back. Don't sit down. Don't cower, clear it. Let your power grow. Let your lion heart get bigger in those moments. let the fire of that heart transform whatever bullshit is being thrown at you, and then clear whatever you don't need, especially out of your knees, feet, shins, ankles, down into the ground, imagining, you know, mercury, metal, all that dense stuff kind of going out. There's also a whole, you know, weird, I'm weird. There's a whole world of dense metal removal from the body, you know, that especially in California, people get into it all the time. I don't know enough about it to recommend it or not, but this does have that kind of quality of feeling there. And I'm saying to everybody lately, check your immunity, ratchet your immunity up, you know, make sure that you're doing what you can to keep your system clean. And that could be physical, that could be about air filters, or that could actually just be like what we were talking to Paulina about. Have the courage, right? Leo, heart, courage, have that lion heart to be able to say, oh, no more. This is not, you are not fresh. This is not cute. I don't like this. I got more important things to do. This is hard enough. You know, other versus the alternative, which is like a lot of people who've been unplugged from social interaction for so long that they're almost responding to peer pressure in a weird way. It's like grown people responding to the collective. That's also Aquarius full moon, sort of collective lunacy, you know. Okay, thank you, Sue, for sharing this.
Thank you.
You bet. Okay, let's see, do we have time for one more? I think we can do one more quickie. Okay, I was actually just, okay, I'm gonna come to Iman. Let's see what we can do. Iman, oh, sorry, bub, you unmute. Iman?
Hi, did I?
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I hear you. Hi, how's it going? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I have no idea how to phrase this so that it makes sense, but if instead of like a moment of surrender, surrender was stretched out over like a super extensive period of time, I have no idea what part of it I'm in or how to move forward at all. Like I had never thought of surrender as a process as opposed to like just a moment of letting go. But I have no clue what's up.
Oh, okay. It's such a great question, but the surrender ultimately is the effective use of the root chakra. Okay, so I'm going to come to that in a second. But what I want to say to you first is your throat and your eye. You are a being and a person who, to me, seems like you are really trying to call something into existence. Okay, you're using your. I'm like choking on it because it feels like you want to use your voice so badly to create and to sing and to I'm using singing both like literally and metaphorically to call what you see, to speak what you see as being possible into existence, right? It's not just a visionary. It's like a soothsayer, you know. And what I would say to you is that surrender, when it pertains to the root chakra, is about accepting things as they are fundamentally accepting them as they are, which is an ongoing process, right? If you let it be. So the fact that you've entered into a state of surrender, right, of unknown duration, right, very groovy. The idea is, we used to say this all the time in sessions, our sort of recipe for ideal balance of spiritual life is 50%, no more than 50% like hardcore spiritual work, and then 50% live your damn life, do your thing, follow your dreams, follow your heart. Like, don't overwork the path too much. It doesn't help. Then you're just pursuing manifestations and law of attractions and goals and and you forget to like eat and sleep and have sex and, you know, walk. You know, it's like you're gone. So yeah, so I would say to you, when you surrender to the path for you, you proceed forward knowing that all is well, always, in all ways. And then the chaos that we're surrounded by becomes relative to that trust, that faith, that knowing. It doesn't mean we work on it any less, but it means that we have some sort of anchor in presence, in wholeness, in the light, right? Enough to keep going forward. And no matter what shitstorm du moment rains upon your head, you go, this too is blessed. This too is blessed. Oh, wow. Oh, it's green shit today. This too is blessed. Okay. So what happens when you meet the shitstorm with surrender is meaning is created. Right? You begin to reflect on, who am I? What am I doing here? As you surrender is the surest way to get your guides to come in. But the process of surrender is an ongoing process of accepting what is, no matter what. Doesn't mean you don't get to work with it. Doesn't mean you don't get to adjust it. Doesn't mean you don't get to change it. Doesn't mean you don't get to learn. Doesn't mean you don't get to take a hard right and go off in some completely different direction. You still have free will. You can still make any choice that you want to make. But surrender ultimately is to something, right? That's the shitstorm, or to everything, right? Surrender to everything. And then I would say, just because she pops into my mind, Ananda Mayima was a very fit Swami. And Ananda Mayima, I think it means like, it definitely has to do with bliss, like bliss permeated one, like she's so permeated with bliss. The theory is that if you surrender everything, including your story and your pain and your joy and, or story, pleasure, pain, right? If you surrender everything that you're attached to, your nature as bliss is revealed. That's the big joke. It's like, if you give it all up, what's left is way fucking better than whatever you were born with. It's like infinite and expansive, and it was there all along. It didn't just appear. It was, you were there all along. It's just the stuff that we normally think of as being ourselves is usually a series of finely calibrated addictions. So surrender's great. It works. What?
Just that.
Yes, good. So then that's the bonus of it. Surrender, accept the circumstances as they are, but then connect to your heart and go, what's the best choice that I can make here right now? What's the most loving choice? Go into bliss. And then when the shitstorm comes, wake the fuck up and do something about it. Engage, act, work, choose, work, turn, serve. So for everyone that's here, we're going to wrap up now. We're basically done. But I want to check in with Paulina once more. Sorry I didn't chime you in a little bit more, Paulina, but where the flow is happening. I want you guys all to remember that Edible Spirit is a space that's dedicated to healing. But in our practice, healing is proposition and self-love, loving yourself enough to care for yourself, self-care, self-love, selfless service. Okay, that's what we're based on here. We try to link up self-care with social justice through self-love and selfless service. Okay. And so what that requires is surrender to what's happening, right? And engagement of what's happening until you kind of have an awareness of your marching orders, right? Where you're like, oh my God, I've surrendered all those stories that I used to think were me. I don't need to attach to them anymore. This is who I am. It happened for me being like, oh my God, I forgot how much I love to cook. I got to be cooking more. Now I'm writing snack scopes. You see, you surrender to something that feels very sincere, innocent, leonine, truthful, right? And then you go, okay, this is me. How am I going to share this part of me with the world? This felt great to me. How am I going to share this with everybody else? And so that's when I just don't think that everybody is made to protest the same way that everybody is not made to like balance a budget. But in the movement, in the cause, in the great work, we need protesters and budget balancers and visionaries and sign painters. We need everybody. So that's always been our theory. We do healing work to help you figure out what you came here to do so that you don't waste your damn time doing shit that has nothing to do with you, living some life that someone told you you needed to live. Most likely that life is over now, right? Crazy times we're in. So enjoy it. Enjoy what's died. Oh, sorry for saying that, but enjoy what's ended, right? So that you can live on in the name of everything that's been lost. And if something breaks your heart, that's what we said in one of those horoscopes. If something breaks your heart, if you've been exposed to pain and it hurts, that's not bullshit. That's not nothing. That says, I care enough about this that it hurts me. I feel it. So don't ignore that. Take that and do something about it. So many of us have gotten to experience this during this time, right? So that's the vibe here. And I've always said to people for years that the spirits from where I sit conspire to guide us into that state of self-love so that we can nurture self-care, and then cultivate that until there's just so much authenticity, so much heart, so much Leo pouring out of our titties that we have no choice but to give it to those who need it. We always have a choice, right? You can definitely fight your dharma, but it spills over. It's so much easier to not. It's just we've never been incentivized to live this life. Society doesn't reward people for helping. Hasn't. Maybe it will now. Maybe that's what we're dreaming into reality, or to use your analogy, Iman, maybe that's what we're calling into being. Maybe that's the thing we've all seen that could be possible, that we're all trying to create with our words and our choices and our voices. Okay. All right. Love you guys so much. I'm bringing back in Queen Paulina. Hey, baby.
Hey.
So I have a question for you. The last segment that we do here is called Deliciousness.
Okay.
So tell me something delicious that is mortal, earthly, something on earth, something you're sinking your teeth into that makes you feel divine, that makes you feel transcendent.
Okay. There's so many things.
I just had to share while you were talking. I was making guacamole. So delicious. I was literally on screen close because I was like, I don't want them to see me stuffing my face. So delicious is avocados turned into guacamole.
Delicious. I love that. Thank you, Dee. Okay, so tell me something. Tell me something, Paulina.
Oh my God, there's so many.
Well, no, give me more than one thing. You can give me a couple things. Give me a little assiette. Give me a buffet.
Well, speaking of a buffet, yesterday my neighbor drove me to Wegmans. I don't know if you guys know about Wegmans, but I just found out about Wegmans because I was in Boston, and I was like, wow, I can't believe they don't have this in New York, and come to find out. So I just went there, and I'm moving out of my apartment in a month, so it's my last big like haul of food, but I really went crazy, and I just feel so abundant. And when I look at my fridge and my freezer, I just feel so grateful and happy. It's like I'm swimming.
Oh, I love you for this. This is my favorite thing I've heard because it's so right up my alley. Like I said, I've been cooking through this whole quarantine experience like I haven't in years. And, you know, it's that thing where I'm choosing not to feel guilty about what I have, to let myself feel abundant, and to, like I said, take care of the sweetest parts of me and nourish and feed the parts of me. That's what happened during cancer season, so that I can keep working my titties off and paying it all forward. You got to eat if you're going to do the work. You know, you got to do it at some point. And I grew up in the restaurant business, so I just always believe that if you're going to eat and you have the luxury and the privilege to eat, you might as well eat well. Yeah. And, you know, if I were ever to, you know, become well, I'm already international, but if I were to become multinational, you know, I would definitely fight to make sure that the world doesn't just get to eat, that the world gets to eat well. Delicious.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I have so many.
Go ahead.
No, you want more? You want me to say more?
Give me one more. Give me one more. It's cute.
Okay. I can't say that one.
No, you can. If you can't say it here, where are you gonna say it?
Oh my God. Okay. I don't know if some people might not think this is delicious, but We were, me and my friends were on Fire Island, and we thought we were in like the gay, friendly, happy, like titties out part, and we weren't. And so we just took our titties out because like that's just what we do at the beach, and it's not illegal. So we were there, and this guy came up to us and was like, can you like put your tops on? It's making people uncomfortable or whatever. So I got back at like the very end of the conversation, and nobody put their tops back on, but I had just found out I got my period. So, and I knew who the people were who had said something about us not having our tops on. So I put my tampon in front of them.
Yes.
That's it. And then they left like really quick. It wasn't like I didn't stand up. I just made it really obvious. And then they left, and it was just great. And then the beach was delicious.
I'm obsessed. I mean, you know, as we close out here, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, I don't know if you think of yourself as a healer, but I think of everyone as a healer. And I've seen the effect that your presence has on people. Again, I think all of us can do this, but my love, you are one of these magical beings who breezes into a room and just everything kind of changes a little bit. It's like, where are we? What just happened? What's going on? Why is this suddenly so much fun? Like, what is this?
Don't stop.
No, it's true. And so I'm saying, I'm going to just say it. Yeah, my deliciousness, is something earthly that makes me feel divine. Is healers who don't know they're healers, or who don't even think of themselves as healers, right? People who spread grace with their words or their glances or their hearts or their hugs or whatever, but that aren't trying to run a racket.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Paulina, for coming in and doing this.
I appreciate you so much. You're amazing.
You're an angel. Thank you to everybody else who came through today. Giving great thanks to all of the guidance and guardianship that came through the space today. Angels, archangels, saints, orishas, masters, guides, ancestors, ancient ones, elementals, and nature spirits. Please continue working with every soul gathered here if it's in their highest good and healing for as long as is necessary, so that their path unfolds in total harmony with their soul's purpose and in accordance with the divine plan throughout all dimensions and timelines beyond infinite infinities with harm to none. So be it and so it is. Thank you all for being here for this full moon Zoom. Go to EdibleSpirit, at EdibleSpirit on Instagram if you want to get those horoscopes, EdibleSpirit.com to join the mailing list, and then also, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to keep watching this. And please tell people about this, because I'm going to be doing this every couple weeks. And I'm so grateful to you all for showing up. And I hope that this evening is healing and illuminated and sends you forth burning more brightly and just feeling your oats and loving yourself. Okay. Namaste, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye. Okay. Oh, love you guys.